Even after 4 days, there is still no trace of the 3 coal miners who were abducted by a heavily armed group of suspected militants from ULFA Independent and NSCN-IM from 𝗡𝗙𝗡𝗧 area in eastern Arunachal's Changlang district. The trio were abducted from an illegal coal mining site known as number 14 mine along the Assam-Arunachal Pradesh interstate border in the early morning hours on the 18th of February. Although 7 of them were released later by the abductors, the whereabouts of the other 3 still remain unknown. 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 SP Changlang confirmed that despite a massive search operation being carried out by the security forces, there is absolutely no news on the 3 abducted persons. The 3 abducted persons are 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘, 𝗟𝗑𝗪𝗓 and 𝗔𝗦𝗦𝗔𝗠. Meanwhile, security forces had identified 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗠, a hardcore militant, to have been the mastermind of the abduction. Earlier, there were reports that as many as 9 out of the 10 abducted persons have been released. However, Changlang SP 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 has confirmed that only 7 persons have been released and the remaining 3 are yet to return home. So that's the big breaking we are tracking at this hour. Even after 4 days, there is still no trace of the 3 coal miners who were abducted by a heavily armed group of suspected militants from ULFA Independent and NSCN-IM from 𝗡𝗙𝗡𝗧 area in eastern Arunachal Pradesh's Changlang district. The trio were abducted from an illegal coal mining site known as number 14 mine along the Assam-Arunachal interstate border in the early morning hours on February 18th. Although 7 of them were released later by the abductors, the whereabouts of the other 3 still remain unknown. 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 SP Changlang district confirmed that despite a massive search operation being carried out by the security forces, there is no news on the 3 abducted persons. The 3 abducted persons are 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘, 𝗟𝗑𝗪𝗓 and 𝗔𝗦𝗦𝗔𝗠. Meanwhile, security forces have identified 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗠, a hardcore militant, to have been the mastermind behind the abduction. Earlier, there were reports that as many as 9 out of the 10 abducted persons have been released. However, Changlang SP 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 has confirmed that only 7 persons have been released and the remaining 3 are yet to return home. Meanwhile, family members of the abducted persons had appealed for their unconditional and prompt release.
আজি 3 দিন হোৱাৰ পিছতো মোৰ মানুহজন আজি ঘৰ ওলোৱাহি নাই। মই কি কম, মই নিজকে ক'ব নোৱাৰা হৈ পৰিছোঁ। মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা মই সংগঠন পাৰ্টিক মই সেৱা প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰিছোঁ, যাতে আমাৰ মানুহজনে কিবা যদিও দুখ কৰিছে বা কিবা কৰিছে সেইখিনি মোৰ ক্ষমা খুজিছোঁ, যাতে মোৰ মানুহজন ভালে কুশলে পায়হি, মোৰ ঘৰত ওলাইহি। মোৰ কোনো মানুহজন নহ'লে মোৰ চলিবলৈ উপায় নাইকিয়া লিখীয়া হৈ আছে। মোৰ ছোৱালী এজনীয়ে আছে, মই সেই ছোৱালীজনীৰ লগত মই কেনেকৈ কটাম, মই তাক নিজকে ক'ব নোৱাৰা হৈ পৰিছোঁ। মোক সোনকালে, মই অতি সোনকালে মোক মানুহজন মই খবৰ পাব লাগে, মোৰ ঘৰত পাবহি লাগে, ওলাবহি লাগে। এইখিনি মই অনুৰোধ কৰিছোঁ, মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা ক'বলৈ মই নোৱাৰা হৈ পৰিছোঁ। অতি সোনকালে মোক খবৰ পাব লাগে। আজি 3 দিন হ'ল একো শুনিছোঁ, নিউজৰ যোগেদি ওলাইছে বুলি, এতিয়ালৈকে কোনো খা খবৰ মই পোৱা নাই। সেইকাৰণে মই প্ৰাৰ্থনা জনাইছোঁ।
And my colleague 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 thus joins us over the phone line to give us details on this. Well, 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘, it's been 4 days now. There's still no trace of the 3 abducted coal miners from 𝗡𝗙𝗡𝗧 Changlang district. Any progress being made according to the security forces? What's the update on this, 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘?
Amrita, yes, that is the part of the story. Actually, the SP Changlang, who is heading the operations in the to rescue to trace out these abducted miners, informed us that there is no trace despite the security forces trying their best. Amrita, the weather is also playing foil sport because it's raining quite heavily in these parts of the state these days, and that has made the job of the security forces more tough. However, security forces are still on the job. There are separate units of Assam Rifles who are being deployed in that area. And they are still in pursuit of the militants, and they are hopeful that they will get some breakthrough. But as I said, till now there is no trace of these 3 persons.
Right. Also, Ripunjay, the 3 abducted persons, 𝗟𝗩𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗦𝗔𝗠, 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 and 𝗔𝗦𝗦𝗔𝗠 Narzari. These 3 are the people who are yet to be released from the abductors. Now, family members of these 3 abducted persons, they have ardently appealed for unconditional release, early release of all the 3 abducted persons. Now, also very little is known about 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧. You have any details, because we have access to pictures of 𝗟𝗩𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 and 𝗟𝗑𝗩𝗪𝗧𝗧. Ripunjay.
Yes, there is some information about 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 is also that he is a resident of Lidu area in that belt itself, and he is also a coal miner employed by the same owner who is operating this illegal coal mine site. And overall, the three persons who have been abducted, all their family members are very much in a very sad position. You can see the wife of one of the abducted person. She broke into tears. In fact, when the reporter asked him the question. So they are appealing once again to the abductors to release their persons. But however, as I said, that till now there is no trace, and till now there is no trace of the abducted persons.
Right. Also, Ripunjay, it's been alleged that the abduction has been carried out by suspected ULFA independent and NSCN-IM militants. Now, the security forces, that's the latest coming in, that security forces have identified self-styled Major 𝗟𝗩𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 to have been the mastermind behind this whole abduction episode. What details do you have on this?
Yes, Amrita, that is what one of the investigators had informed us, that 𝗟𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 had masterminded the entire abduction. In fact, as we know, Amrita, 𝗟𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗦𝗧 is one of the hardcore ULFA independent militant who is actively operating in this area, Assam-Arunachal belt area, and also he is related to several cases like the assassination of Sub-Inspector 𝗟𝗩𝗪𝗘, who was the OC of Bordumsa police station, and in a few years ago. And again, his involvement was found in several other abductions, in the abduction of a manager of a petrol pump in Arunachal's Namsai district. And in this case also, investigators have found his involvement. In fact, he has masterminded the entire plot, and it's directly related to extortion by the organization, as what has been informed by the investigators. And with Amrita.
Right. Ripunjay, thank you so much for joining in. Keep a track of this big breaking story that Northeast Live is carrying out. Even after 4 days, there is still no trace of the 3 coal miners who were abducted by a heavily armed group of suspected militants from ULFA Independent and NSCN-IM from Finboro area in eastern Arunachal's Changlang district, and the trio were abducted from an illegal coal mining site known as number 14 mine along the Assam-Arunachal Pradesh interstate border in the early morning hours on the 18th of February. And we also have more reactions coming in from the family of one of the abductees. Let's listen in.
পরেশ বলবা স্যার আমার ল'ৰাটো য'ত আছে আপুনি ঘূৰাই পঠাই দিয়ক, দুখীয়া ল'ৰা বিচাৰা, মাক নাই তাৰ, মই যেনে তেনে তাৰ একজন ভাই আছে, এইটো বিকলংগ, ভৰিটো ভাল নাই, সৰু যেনে তেনে মই জীয়াই আছোঁ, মা মৰাটো 7 বছৰমান হৈ গ'ল, এতিয়াও যেনে ক'লে দুখীয়া ল'ৰা, মইতো যেনে তেনে ল'ৰা আহিব বুলি মই আশা কৰি আছোঁ। পৰেশ বলৱা ছাৰ য'ত হ'লে আপুনি আমাৰ ল'ৰাক ঘূৰাই পঠাই দিয়ক, মই ক'ব জানো ছাৰ।